Look, up in the sky. I'm afraid to say, I am your father. That's game over.
Time is defined to make motion look simple.
Starting go.
Now, I just want to put this question out to you. You got 3 different trilogies. Is Star Wars a good franchise? You have evidence. 2 out of the 3 are pretty bad. Let's put it like people don't like the prequels, and people at best people are mixed about these new 3. Obviously, the originals are great.
Now, but when you say franchise, are you talking about the movies? Or are you talking about just the whole thing? Because there's books, there's games. There's a lot more than just the movie.
Okay, the movie franchises.
Well, overrated. If you go with the movies.
Yeah.
But Star Wars is much bigger than that. It's much bigger than the movies. The movies relatively pretty bad.
Yeah, because you look, there's cool things, of course, about every Star Wars movie. Like even The Last Jedi had some cool things, even though I hated that movie. They had cool things in the movie that at least look cool, or like maybe didn't make the most sense. But like prequels for me, Darth Maul, Obi-Wan was fleshed out more. I like that. Like there's things about and I like, even though the movies weren't great in that era, the clone era itself, right? The
You
clone
could just
era
keep
itself
making series off that.
is actually the best like time period. And to me, like as far as like the most things were happening, there were Jedi, there were like dark side users, if not Sith, But overall, yeah, I would agree. The dark, I mean, on paper, bro. But then you would say they have the best trilogy in all time, right?
What, the original?
Yeah, like that alone, like people would make that argument. That alone would make this whole thing like.
But does the original stand the test of time?
Oh God, no! Like the first one is dated. I saw it the other day. It was so dated. I was
then you got.
I didn't last.
Then you got a trilogy like The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So
Lord of the Rings is kind of boring too, but
Lord of the Rings, you gotta be into it. I mean, it's like what, Blade Runner? A lot of people say Blade Runner is boring. It's like, well, I mean, your attention span is probably pretty low.
I like Blade Runner. It gets slow apart, but it does good things. But as far as Star Wars go, let's talk about the new set, because I guess I start off with a big question.
Well, think about this. So the movie franchise itself, I would say, is overrated. But are we gonna stop seeing them? No. When the movies come out, I haven't wanted to see. Man, not that I haven't wanted to see. I already knew what I was gonna get on Last Jedi, and then Ride of Skywalker.
Okay, let's cover.
But I still went and saw it.
Let's cover the Disney era real quick, because Disney era, we're gonna have a general conversation about Star Wars anyway. So Disney era is episode 7, 8, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's start with 7. 7, you just got the hype of Disney, buying the rights to Star Wars. So, and there hasn't been a Star Wars movie in like a decade or two, and there's a bunch of hype, and so you get into this intriguing character, like Rey and like Kylo. Like Finn was a good concept, like Stormtrooper turned good. I mean, that 7th one wasn't like the best movie ever because it was really safe. A lot of people don't like it because it was real safe. But if you're like, okay, I'm in. You watch that movie, for me, it was like, I'm in for that movie.
I agree with that. I would say 7, when I reviewed 7, it got positive reviews for me, but most of that was based on nostalgia. It seemed like we were just getting Skywalker again. We were getting Luke again.
Yeah.
So on that, okay, like you said, I'm in. I'll take Finn. I'll take Rey. Even Kylo. I was thinking, well, that's hard to say, but if 8 wasn't so bad, if the whole thing was revolved around Kylo, I feel like it could have been good.
I thought the mystery around Rey was interesting. Yeah, Disney messed up.
Why did JJ not do 8?
I don't know.
JJ Abrams. Why did he not do 8? Because if he kept the whole series, if he kept all 3,
Yeah, he could have made
I
a
think
good
it could have
franchise.
been solid 8.
But I think he has a history of not finishing well anyway. So, like every time he starts something, like Lost, it doesn't. Oh, it usually doesn't end well.
Cloverfield?
Cloverfield. I mean, I guess that was. I mean, look. I guess if you count the later movies, like some of the movies are stupid. I don't know, but episode 7 was like it was enough to say, okay, I'm in for the franchise. I like Ray. I really like the actors. I still like the actors. Finn, Poe, Ray. Like,
Yeah, it was a good setup. I mean, if you nitpick it, there was a lot of things in movies that hardcore Star Wars fans would have been upset, like Ray overpowering.
But then you get to 8. Oh my god. Oh my god. What did you do? Like the complete. I almost wanted to mark Disney as a terrorist organization for that film. How dare you? Like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of it. You can like the movie all you want, but if you don't think that movie has some cohesion issues, like in general, it wasn't cohesive to the franchise and with the stuff is set up within its own movie.
And do you think that was just Disney interference, like Warner Bros. Or
no, it was not enough interference. They didn't stop Ryan Johnson from butchering the freaking franchise. I'm sorry. He murdered in his sleep like Mark Hamill tried to do to Kylo Ren in that one scene. He tried to like, Jesus, come on, bro. Like what is this? I just really didn't care for that movie because I like canon. I'm a canon person, and like if you're not gonna maintain like, I mean, why that Star Wars movie? Why didn't you just do your own like? And
I'm not sure on this, but were there reshoots for 8?
I don't think so. I think they just let him do his thing, and that's what we saw.
I just can't see anybody who knows anything about Star Wars watching that movie and not saying, y'all got some work to do.
No, like, how do you not reel this in? I mean, you reel in for the Solo movie. What are those? What are the?
Sorry, due to a poorly recorded episode, you will be experiencing some interruptions in this podcast. So I beg you to please be mindful that this is just the beginning of our journey, and we only expect to get better as we move along. Thank you. Now back to the show.
Anyway,
not Sam Raimi.
Those two brothers that direct movies. Okay, I don't know if they're brothers.
A lot of those.
I don't know if they're brothers, but they I think they did a Lego movie. It's really gonna bother me.
Lego movie was actually good. So
yeah,
you sure it was them?
I think they produced it or something. But they were doing the Solo movie and they were doing their own thing, you know, making it good. And they freaking stopped them. They reeled them in, and like we got that Solo movie. You guys didn't do this for episode 8. This man was like, no one was questioning right when the movie starts. Freaking, oh, the rebellion is losing. How? They just destroyed the number one resource, the whatever. And you didn't even explain the world at this point. Luke's through a lightsaber. I don't like it. I didn't like it.
There seemed like a lot of things they just threw in.
I went in for a second.
What'd you say her name was? The Asian character?
Kelly Marie Tran.
What was the point?
I mean, their whole, what is that, Camino? Is that the place that the casino?
Oh, like
oh my God, I just realized like they rhyme. Camino, because this is even like it's not even clever.
Her whole dynamic with Finn, well, was that they were setting up a whole nother love story or something with them two, and then they just threw her away in 9.
Yeah, no, I mean, I say Finn is an interesting character as far as like theoretically he's an interesting character, but they butchered his story too.
I mean, it goes with all of them. I feel JJ had a direction for Finn, and then 8 just threw that away, and then 9 he tried to correct it. He tried to correct it, but didn't give you everything.
Yeah, okay. I mean, let's move past 8.
Ray, I got something to tell you.
8 just didn't make any sense as far within the movie, like within the franchise itself. It just didn't make any sense. Like he didn't care about cohesion in that one, and it looked like the movie wrapped the whole universe up. Like at the end, where the kid, like anybody can have force powers. And by the way, the next movie, no, apparently only the Skywalkers and the Palpatines can have force powers because you reverted it right back. So Kylo Ren was talking shit the whole time about kill the past, let it die. And guess what? The bad guy's on the dark side. the good guys on the light side. And you know, I'm not happy with that.
Oh, I guess it seemed like Finn might have had. He might have been force sensitive as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think they say that's what he wanted to tell Ray. He kept saying the whole movie, "I got something to tell you," and then he never did.
that was a weird setup. Like,
I guess you're supposed to just infer since he knew Ray was. Wait, are we hitting spoilers on here?
yeah,
Oh, okay. So I guess they were inferring that he was force sensitive because he knew Ray had died.
every Fandomnauts episode contains spoilers.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
we're
you better
definitely
be
going to put that in there. If you haven't seen it,
Surprise! No, no, just like Samuel Jackson. Mace Windu should have showed up.
Technically, he did.
I mean, you were giving like everybody a cameo. I wanted the prequel era people to show up. Give me like a Force Ghost Anakin. What's his name? Christian Haydenson or something. I want him to be a Force Ghost.
I want to say they threw him in on one of the movies as like a Force Ghost. They edited him in.
I think they did in the original.
Yeah, I think
they
he came
did
in
a
at the,
re-release.
yeah, and it was him at the end.
That George Lucas kept messing with the original version. He kept adding CGI and shit. And everybody kept getting pissed off. This shit was hilarious. You don't remember this?
Yeah, I do.
Like he kept, the special edition is the original edition now. No, it's not, George. No, it's not.
I think it became a cash grab at a certain point. I think that's why he just bowed out. Like, you know what?
I saw it on TNT once. It was hilarious. It's like unnecessary.
TNT, showing your age.
Erase that. You're gonna delete that already.
You're gonna edit that out.
Not really. No worry. Anyway, I don't know. I personally thought Last Jedi was very divisive as far as how it was on the fan base. I don't like it. You don't seem to like it either. A lot of people do like it, which I don't get. But whatever. You have a right to your opinion.
I didn't even have to. It was just how I felt.
Yeah.
I left the movie disappointed.
Yeah.
I can't think of many movies where I was just like I was hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of us felt that way, and a lot of other people were like, "Oh, that was badass." I don't get it, but okay. Like when Kelly Marie Tran's character wanted to save Finn and he was about to make a sacrifice, I was like, "No, this makes sense." His path was, the guy that didn't have anybody he's loyal to, and he's just in it for Rey, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm with the Resistance now." Boom. By the way, it's the same arc he had in the next movie. Like he had this arc already, but she saves him. I don't know. It was weird. Then they kiss, and then in this movie, they're like, he totally friend zones her, and apparently there's supposed to be a relationship between Poe and Finn, like a gay relationship. Which, that would have been bold. I wish you would have did that, and then like full fledged. But no, they had to cop out with the lesbian couple in the back. Like they were making out.
Oh, I heard about that. I did not notice that.
You didn't catch that? Yeah, because you could easily edit that out in China.
I did read that headline. They did that.
Yeah. It was like, oh, you're not.
Was it that noticeable?
I mean, if you're watching the movie, apparently you didn't care about the movie after a certain point.
I don't remember that at all.
Anyway, a lot of stuff.
So there were gay notions with Finn and Poe.
Apparently, in the novelization, like the book, there was hints at that. Then for this one, Disney kind of like 180'd that. I guess they didn't want to go there in this one, which I don't know. Maybe I don't know what their reasoning is. Whatever.
I mean, Finn was just running
they're
around
fake
with
woke.
women
They're
all
all
3
fake
episodes.
woke. Huh?
I said Finn was just running around with women all 3 episodes. You know?
I mean, I don't know. It looks like the movies didn't set things up that the novelization seemed to hint at. So that's another cohesion thing with these new Star Wars. I mean, the ultimate story of the latest trilogies, in my opinion, is that because they were completely unplanned and they were in such a rush to make money as soon as they bought the rights, because they overspent. They spent like billions of dollars just to get it, and they wanted to make money right away. So they put someone who's in charge, who's a veteran. I believe her name's Kathleen Kennedy, but I mean, she's looking at it from a producer, not a studio head, like a Kevin Feige in the Marvel universe, right? Like they're not. She's not looking at it like that. She's looking at it like, oh, I work with the creators. They can do whatever they want. They'll make good movies if I support them. Yeah, but you gotta plan out the trilogy. You gotta, if you know you're making a franchise, you gotta have that cohesion. And frankly, this whole trilogy just makes me think. Just when I think about it, it's all I think about is divisiveness. Oh, like people like are tired of talking about this Star Wars crap. Like it's not even fun. Every single movie has lost money, even though they're making billions. I get it. Like you can't really say nothing. Like it still made $1 billion. It still made $1 billion. Okay, I got you. Star Wars, like that just tells you, like you can make the people aren't there for the producer. People aren't. They're there for the brand. The brand is the strongest thing that sells the movie. So I can make $1 billion Star Wars movie. How much? Give me 100 million. Let me make a movie. I'm a complete amateur. Slap the name Star Wars on there. I bet you I make $1 billion.
I mean, like I said, it's a huge franchise. People are gonna go see it.
I mean, when it's a franchise that big, that doesn't give you any credit to me. Like, okay, well, it does, of course, but it's just not as much as you would think. Anyway, I just think this latest era it's like don't let the greed. The lesson you should learn is don't let the greed, overtake the art, because that's exactly what happened in this trilogy. Like they had some good moments, right? But a lot of bad ones. How many directors left? How many complained about interference? You know what I'm saying? Look at all those news stories. Rogue One was one example of this. Like, are we going to have Darth Vader? Are we not? How much of the movie's cut? How much is one director? How much is another? Solo was another example of this. I mean, it's like they didn't seem organized. When you look at the same company that owns another studio, like right across the hall, called Marvel MCU, right? And they're chugging out $1 billion movies, like picking them out their teeth. Like it's easy, you know what I'm saying? Like easy, nothing but there's Steph Curry. Have you seen Steph Curry warm up?
Yes.
He makes like 23 threes in a row. Like, and that's what I think. What do you think about these new era of? Like,
well, I mean, like you said, they're gonna make money, but I mean, I don't know about the Marvel comparison. Marvel's like Star Wars. Anybody's gonna go see a Marvel movie with like Captain Marvel.
But
huge cash grab.
Don't
People
you
are gonna
feel
go
like
see it.
Marvel earned theirs? At least like what you've done for me lately. Kind of thinking like they've earned theirs, and Star Wars is just purely on like nostalgia and like, you know what I'm saying, brand awareness, I guess.
Okay, I'll give you that. I would say Marvel did a good job of building it up, but I would also say I feel like Marvel can pretty much give you the same formula over and over, and people accept it because Endgame, Infinity War, I don't think they're as good as it. I think that's another bit of overrated. The world's at stake, and we're still making jokes.
It's a good formula.
It's joke after joke, and maybe some type of nice
like
climatic.
Serious.
So I don't know. And Han Solo, did that do well? Isn't that one of the few that didn't do too well?
I think it was the one that flopped. Like,
and as big as Star Wars is, eventually you keep doing what you're doing with 8, and I don't want to say 9 wasn't bad.
9 was better than 8.
9 was definitely better than 8, but it had to make up for so many mistakes that it couldn't be as good as it should have been.
I honestly thought it should have took place after, like, they should have gave it like, instead of like a 2-year thing, they should give it like 4 years
to make
and after the canon, like in the canon, like give it so much time. And like maybe the Disney Plus stuff can set it up, and like set up things like Palpatine coming back. Like you really give us stuff like in between to make 9 hit different, because
that's another thing about 9 that made 8 even worse.
What?
They were just throwing. They threw Snoke away.
That's what it is.
they were just throwing, like, basically they were.
Yes. First of all, Snoke, up until that point, was way more powerful than Palpatine has ever shown to be. But then, and in this 9 one
sentence,
and
just throw him away. I was undermining Snoke the whole time.
I was Snoke. Snoke ain't shit. I was Snoke.
I was manipulating him.
Snoke.
You mean tell me someone who was able to use the Force across galaxies? You were manipulating him.
Yeah.
That's another thing that just really killed me in 8, that Kylo was able to kill Snoke the way he did.
Now, Kylo, in my opinion, is the bright spot in this trilogy. Like, if you just cut out most of the scenes, I feel like you can make a Kylo Ren movie, right? Like, if you cut out all the scenes in all the 3 and then just, like, edit it in a way, you could probably make a decent Kylo Ren movie, because you may have to do a little bit of rearranging, but all of he has the development. He does have the acting. What's his name? Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. I mean, yeah. After all three are done, I would. Yeah, he's easily the best character and actor in the whole series.
In this Disney series. So, I mean, again, that's my thoughts on the new era Disney movies. Is there anything else you want to say about them?
I just don't know where we go from here. Maybe I feel like they're gonna be safe and just give you a Obi-Wan trilogy.
He's getting a Disney Plus series.
Yeah, at the Golden Globes, I saw the Obi-Wan haircut. So I don't know if they filmed or if they're filming now, but that's
2021.
2021.
Yeah, I think that's what I saw. I read that somewhere. Maybe I'm tripping.
That's probably true.
2021, but yeah, he's getting one. And the latest news was Jar Jar Binks. Older Jar Jar Binks is gonna be in it with a beard or something. Did you hear this? Like,
isn't he like the most like made fun of character?
He's the most hated character, honestly. But I guess they just want to be like, hey, he existed. Like, and maybe we can portray him in a better way because he's actually really important. Like, I know he's treated as a joke, but if you pay attention to what's going on in the movies, he's like the reason why like a lot of the movies happening. Like a lot of people weren't picking that up during the time, but. Jar Jar Binks, I don't know how much they said. Christian Hedison may come back as I don't know, like maybe a flashback scene, or something. Like Christian Hedison might come back for these movies. Have you heard this?
No, I haven't heard that
for the Disney Plus series, or maybe just as a voice actor. Or
is that another cash grab, or is that gonna be serious? Is he gonna be Vader? Like just talking to
the
him?
Vader stuff already happened, but I think it's like. Because this is like a character study, right? The Obi-Wan. This is something exciting because I love Obi-Wan. The character study of Obi-Wan. So it's like Obi-Wan might have flashbacks to moments that they had together, like you know what I'm saying, like internal battles that like Anakin is a representation of. So it's like he might come back in that way, not like.
I guess with special effects you can make him younger.
Yeah,
because I mean when he cut him down, I mean, he's gonna look way older than that now. He was pretty young.
I haven't seen him lately. Did he age well?
I haven't seen. He fell off.
Man, I really wanted the Jumper sequel. I like Jumper.
Jumper.
Y'all remember Jumper?
I like Jumper actually.
Jumper was
Samuel L. Jackson with hair.
Yeah, I like Jumper. I don't know. I guess it was too many special effects. I saw him in some like Jesus movie once. Like it was like a Christian movie.
Christian Haydenson?
Yeah, it was like I forgot what it was. Like it was. It looked good in it. I mean, the cinematography actually it looked good, but regardless, the Obi-Wan stuff looks good. Like the Disney Plus, I heard the Mandalorian is kind of good. I haven't seen it yet.
I've watched about 4 or 5 episodes. It was done really well. I mean, it's a side story, but it's
okay.
Good.
So I was gonna say that. That's what I thought they should have did. Basically, Jon Favreau is the one doing the Mandalorian. I thought they should have just been like, "Hey, look, man, Jon Favreau's a great movie. He did Iron Man, the original. Why not give him a Star Wars trilogy, like the first Star Wars trilogy, and out of Disney, and like just hand it to him because he knows Star Wars. You know, he's with Dave Filoni over there, which is like an encyclopedia himself. So I'm like, hey, why not? You know what I'm saying?
He hasn't struck out yet.
Why didn't he get one? But apparently I don't know if I'm reading like just from random articles, but they got like Jon Snow. They're planning to do a darker trilogy in 2022. Did you hear about this? A Star Wars?
What?
Am I here?
I thought he was doing.
Hopefully, I'm not reiterating rumors.
I thought he was doing Eternals. Is that not?
He's doing Eternals. I think he's Black Knight, but they're doing a Star Wars prequel that's like set 400 years back. So after Old Republic, but before this, whatever, current Skywalker era, and they're going darker, and they have Jon Snow, Kit Harington. Yeah, he's gonna be like an ancient Jedi or something. I don't know, like some character in it. Who else did they say? There was somebody else that they like. Somebody.
Darth Revan is canon now.
That'd be so cool.
That's huge. But...
Jon Snow, season 8, Jon Snow as Darth Revan with the beard and the black.
Let's slow down.
You know why?
Darth Revan has to be somebody way more like menacing.
Man, you're not
Harington.
thinking about the Night's Watch cloak. How does Jon Snow look good in that Night's Watch cloak, man? Come on now.
Not Darth Revan. No.
I like Jon Snow. Jon Snow. Anyway, Disney's obsessed with like casting Game of Thrones characters and not using them. like these are some of the great actors of our time, and you're over here like not using them. Oh, why don't you be a glorified stormtrooper? Freaking yo, you had a great arc in Game of Thrones. We're just gonna waste you as a woman actress in this.
What was it? General Plasma? How was it? What was
General
it?
Phasma.
Phasma.
Yeah, like stupid, so stupid. Like
You saw like her eye.
yeah, like cast these people. If you're, I like the idea of a darker Star Wars. Like give it. I don't know if you should name them like episodic. Like
I mean,
hey,
Star Wars should be dark. Like,
it needs to grow up. Honestly,
it's like the fate of the galaxy, the fate of the universe.
I don't understand because they keep they keep saying Star Wars is for kids, right? But then you have like these. If you watch the prequels, it's like the most complicated political. The Trade Federation are stopping trade routes. What are you talking about for kids?
It'll be convoluted for a child.
Look, dude, you can't have both. You want both. You want to say it's for kids and it's for the people who grew up with it at the same time. Well, at some point these things diverge. The novels are very sophisticated apparently. The games are go a lot darker. I like the games, especially that new one that looks great. What is it called?
Oh, the Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. It looks freaking great. But it looks like a darker Star Wars. And I'm like, I would love to see something like that on screen. The Mandalorian is darker. But then at the same time, you want to like say, no, Star Wars is for kids. Star Wars is for... It's not. It pick something. Pick one.
I think, yeah, it's kind of like video games where video games for kids. Like, no, the demographic that most people who play it are age like 25 and up.
Yeah, man.
And I think that's the same with Star Wars. There's most people. I'm gonna bring my kid. Don't make it as bad where my kid can't see it, but. If you can have depth in it, you can have it dark.
You can have separate material for your kids. Like there's a Star Wars that's like more on the focuses on the more friendly side, like funny droids, and like you can make a Pixar Star Wars branch if you want. Like there are stories you can tell in the Star Wars universe that kids can just like enjoy. But at the same time, the people who actually spend money on Star Wars. Are people who grew up with it, who impacted it back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and never, since then. And they're of age. Give us something. We like The Mandalorian, but I want like a dark, like if it's like Game of Thrones and with lightsabers, yes, I want that. Thank you.
I mean, that's what you got to think about. Who's paying for it? It's not the kids.
Yeah.
So exactly. If you want to make more money, yeah, give it to the adults.
I mean, that being said, just to keep along with that question I was asking, what do you think about the prequel era? That's what 1, 2, and 3.
The prequel was a convoluted mess. Everyone hates how quick Anakin went from like goody two shoes to I'm murdering younglings.
In the third movie, by the way, he was a cool guy until like the very halfway.
He snapped over. It made no sense for him to snap like that.
He should start snapping in the. I mean, the second one they kind of did, but he was kind of being an asshole.
Yeah, it was just him upset as a few things.
Yeah, and here's what I'd say: George Lucas directed all 3 of those, and you can tell when you if you rewatch scenes. I encourage people to go watch the scenes again. Some of the scenes, like the actors are very stale in that one. And you can tell he shouldn't have directed it. He should have just wrote the maybe screenplay, have it, have it notched up by professionals and produced it. But he can't direct actors. That's his whole thing. Like everybody complains legendarily, like George Lucas cannot direct actors. Like he can't. And so when you see everyone being stale and blaming Christian Hayden for his acting, it's like, well, imagine like this guy's not giving you anything to work with. Even Samuel L. Jackson was kind of stiff in these movies, other than the fact when you gave him like one thing to do.
It's dialogue and other things. You got to write it a little bit better. And I mean, but as bad as people say it was, everyone quotes Anakin from the new, or I guess the last trilogy. All the quotables is him.
Yeah, no, and I like Anakin in those movies, but I'm a rarity. But what I would say is that era is just like. It's just like
the one thing they could have taken from that and given it to the new trilogy was the choreography. The lightsaber scenes.
You like those better, right?
They were so much like. I want to say I read it like a little article where they were saying they kind of freestyled it, like they were taking it like real serious, the lightsaber training and like throwing their own little moves in there, and it worked. But now you got Kylo Ren swinging. I can see maybe you can play it off and say, oh, Kylo Ren is supposed to be like a brute. He's supposed to be real strong with his lightsaber. But he was swinging around like it was an axe.
Yeah,
No,
no,
you have a lightsaber. It's supposed to be like a katana, like
he
a sword.
doesn't seem very trained at all. Like they try to play him off as
Any
trained.
of them.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's one knock on the Disney trilogies. It's like all three movies, and yeah, you get a little bit of lightsaber in the last one, but it's like, how do you go 3 Star Wars movies and not including the side movies like the
Like
whatever
Rogue
spin-offs?
One, his one scene was better use of lightsaber than any other.
Bro,
movies.
how do you go that long without lightsabers? People love lightsabers and Sith and Jedi. I'm tired of them focusing on another thing. I'm not the Star Wars fan that likes like the technology and like the gunfights. Like, pew, 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 pew.
There's a place for it, but I prefer the
People-
lightsaber battles.
In
as well.
every freaking Star Wars movie, there's those scenes where like, oh, we're on a TIE fighter and da da da. And I'm like, I'm not that Star Wars fan. I do not like that.
But
stuff.
there are those Star Wars fans.
Yeah, but they rarely do it interesting.
So in
The one time it was super interesting was the stupidest moment in any Star
What?
where she rammed that big ship into the other ship, and that's never happened before in Star Wars. And it's like, you know what I'm talking about in The Last Jedi?
was it the Last Jedi?
Yeah, the Holdor maneuver or whatever. Like she uses the light speed to cut the other ship in half. Right? She crashes her ship into other ship and she sacrifices herself.
I thought you were talking about
That looked cool as shit, but it was the stupidest. It was like, why don't y'all just do that all the time? Right? Like,
So on 9, that last huge battle with all the X-wing and TIE fighters, you didn't think that was good?
it was okay. Okay, it was okay. But it's just like at 8 it sucked. Okay, and it's like it's not my favorite part, and like I feel like the Disney focused on those parts more in this trilogy, like the pew 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 crash.
I mean, I agree. I feel like everybody
I
gets out of their
like-
seats to see the
I like-
lightsaber battles.
Emo dudes with laser swords and like and lore and like mystical powers and combating light with darkness and darkness with light and like conflict I like that stuff and you guys, you know, they don't. If you're just it just seems like visual junk a lot of the times, like as filler because they can't think of anything more creative and interesting to be action. Like the action scenes have been really bad in the new ones.
That's something I had a huge problem with on 9 and the original. When Luke and Rey, when both of them in their movies fought the Emperor, it was like all you did was block lightning both times. And there was never you never got to see Palpatine like pull a lightsaber out and show you like his old skill. Nothing. It's just lightning. You stop it. I get body slammed, or somehow you redirect it.
Yeah, and to go back to the prequels for a second, like you're right, they do have really good fight scenes, and like they just portray the Jedi as a lot more like scalable, I guess. Like their power levels make sense, like. Except for Obi-Wan versus Grievous. That was weird, but I feel like he beat him a little too easy. And I mean, I get Obi-Wan is really strong, but they apparently said Grievous was the realest. But that being said, those movies were revolutionary for their special effects. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the time, and a lot of people don't remember, those movies were like groundbreaking as far as like, you know, like special effects. George Lucas decided that they were ready. And Star Wars is always pushing the envelope as far as technology. So these are positive. I mean, I just don't want to rip on Star Wars for an hour. There are a lot of positives that come out of it. It inspired a whole bunch of, a bunch of other movies. I would say it's the reason for the modern blockbuster. I don't know about you. I like going to the movies on blockbuster weekends and like just like watching the biggest movie regardless of what it is. And that we wouldn't have that without Star Wars. You know,
It's one of those movies where it's like you have to see that in theater. Like you can't watch that on a 55-inch TV.
Exactly.
This is gonna be grand. They put a lot of money into it, and that's like I said. We don't want to rip on 9 and just say there were some good things, and then on 9, I would say the special effects were really good.
Yeah, and the prequels actually. I said this before the podcast, but what I do like about them is the time period. Like they give you a lot more stories during that time period of the Clone Wars and like. The Jedi were like there were actually a bunch of Jedi around. Like you don't get any other era with a bunch of Jedi. Like there are actual councils around. It's like that's seeing the training.
I want a lightsaber war.
I want movies centered around like I want the Jedi councils back. Like I want like a bunch of Jedi. I want them to see the Padawans train. I want to see like That's the Sith. I want to see the Sith version of that. Now the Sith is dumb because I don't like the rule of two. But in the new ones, I think they broke that rule because there's like a stadium full of Sith in there or something. But I don't know. But that's the part of the Jedi's I like, and hopefully, if they go back 400 years, I think Yoda's alive, right?
What, 400 years ago?
Yeah, wasn't he training Jedi for like the last several hundred years?
Hey there, it's me again. We're experiencing one of those predicaments yet again. What can I say? I f***ed up. Deal with it.
Sorry about that. But anyway, I want to go back. That's why I'm excited about if these rumors, again, these are rumors, are true about going back 400 years, because I want to see a time where like there are many Force users. Mm-hmm. There are many, not just Jedi, but like Force users, right? But many lightsaber users, bounty hunters. I want a world filled with them instead of in like the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're rare and harder to find, and they're really important people all the time. And like you know what I'm saying? They have all the power. No, if you have a universe or a galaxy filled with these kind of people, and like it's about the politics of it, and like them constantly subverting each other. These eras exist inside Star Wars, and they're a lot more interesting to me. It's not just about like spectacle. It's about like mastery of your craft, and like it's a lot of stuff that Star Wars pulls from. That's why I want to go back to this era, and if it's darker and it gives you more lore about like about the Sith maybe or something like that, or I don't know, just like more adult, because I think an adult Star Wars is needed. You know what I'm saying?
I want more adult, but I also want, like you said, I want more action, but with Force users and lightsabers, like you said. Force Unleashed.
Mm-hmm. Video game?
Yeah, the first and second one, those were perfect.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it should be done.
Great tone.
I want one Jedi. Well, I mean, you can have multiple Jedis, but if you're centering it around one person, have him fight like 4 or 5 Sith. Yeah. Different, like bosses, separate occasions. They give me a 3-hour just action spectacle.
That you want the John Wick of.
Yes, I want basically a giant action sequence.
Yeah, I mean that would be cool. I mean, they try to do that, I guess, with the.
They've done everything but that. It's like, all right, we want to focus on story. We want to focus on the political part. You know what? No, just give me you're putting all this money into it anyway. Just give me a bunch of action. Give me the John Wick. Put Keanu Reeves in a cloak.
I think
let this man have a Jedi robe.
I think it'd be cool to have like a Mandalorian John Wick type movie. Like,
and that's another thing about Jon Favreau. Mandalorian is it's
pretty adult, right?
It's pretty adult, and you're getting movie quality episodes.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It looks. I mean, it feels like Star Wars. I mean, it is, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I feel you. But again, prequels did bring some good things. Jar Jar Binks was not one of them, but he was kind of he was kind of an interesting character. I thought the first two were pretty bad movies. Darth Maul was good. They all have their good things, but
I'm biased to that because Darth Maul is my favorite character. This is the
in Star Wars.
Yeah, this is the first apprentice of Palpatine, correct?
Is it the first? I don't know. There's books out there, so I don't know if there's characters in the books we don't know about.
All right, well, so if he's not the first, he is an apprentice of Palpatine. Mm-hmm. So he has to be a monster, which was displayed. He destroyed Qui-Gon Jinn in a matter of a minute or two, and then he gets used for character development for Obi-Wan. An angry, untrained Obi-Wan.
He died way too easy.
He beat Darth Maul with his own rule. I have the high ground. You can't win. Obi-Wan beats his own rule.
A crucial mistake in that series was killing him in that movie.
He should have been at least all three. He should have been. He should have whooped Obi-Wan's ass at first.
It should have been. He should have been the path the thing that stops Anakin from reaching the Emperor. As far as like he needs to that should he should have been the dark
side to beat Darth Maul.
He should have been like the person Anakin needs to be to become the apprentice, right? Like they should have built him up and contributed more to like manipulation of Anakin and Obi-Wan, and you know what I'm saying. Like,
the Emperor literally talked to Anakin, I think once, maybe twice, and that was it. I got you.
That's all I needed. Yeah.
Is that a Sith power?
Padme was dying. one, he kept saying. I think there was some illusion that he's the one that sent some divisions, but I don't know for sure. But like, apparently, Palpatine created Anakin.
That's another thing that Star Wars is so big that it's kind of like Game of Thrones. The fans give you theories that the directors and writers like run with.
Yeah.
Like they basically saved them. Like, oh, this is probably why it happened. They're like, okay, we'll run with that.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. He sent them visions.
Yeah.
Oh, he was manipulating Snoke the whole time. That's how strong he is.
Yeah.
All right, we'll run with that. Yeah, that's correct. You know what? And now I think about it, that is exactly what we were going for.
Like, did they write this movie or did we write this movie?
It's like you want to steal the fans' ideas. Are basically their help that when they help you, but you won't use their ideas when you're writing it. It's like some of the fan theories are the best.
Yeah.
It's like if you let a fan. Can we get a director who's a fan?
I still think some of the, if you're talking about what's been put on screen, some of the coolest on screen moments, I'm talking about any screen, not just the big screen, is some of those old Knights of the Old Republic CGI cutscenes or whatever, like where they show Darth Bane and like
Oh yes.
and like him like record, like I want those movies. Like what the give me that Old Republic.
The PC Star Wars games, their intros.
Yeah.
Like those are
Amazing.
Stories right there that need to be made.
Man, I mean, I want those. That's what I want. I mean, give me that.
Like give me two twins. One's a
There's a
Jedi,
Sith-
one's a Sith.
There's a
Like,
Sith army. Like, I mean, I want to see Sith armies fight Jedi armies. I know that's the most remedial thing a person can ask for, but I want it. I want it. Give it to me now.
want that giant lightsaber battle.
Yeah, I just want a giant lightsaber battles, Force users going off. You know what I'm saying? Or just like put one down there against an arm. Like there's that comic, that Vader Down comic, I think it's called, or Darth Vader comic that Marvel did, and like it was just Vader like brooding over the Padme's death and like the years after, like the recent years after, and he's just like in battlefields crushing small fry, like just like with his force powers, just like because he's brooding over all this shit that like went on in his life while he's hunting down Jedi, and he's just like. He's like, oh, dude, you think I'm in a room with you? No, you're in a room with me, bitch. It's like that kind of stuff, and I love it. Like, I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, give me that grand scale version of that last scene on Rogue One.
Right, but as the prequels, again, they do a lot of really cool things with the special effects. I actually think on paper, if you pay attention to Anakin's story, like, of course they rushed it at the end there, but like it was probably the best part, like of him turning. Because he was afraid of death, and that obsession with fear led him to hatred and darkness, and he ended up killing.
I feel like you're doing it. I feel like you're filling in the blanks for them. You're making it so much better. You sure?
Yeah. Well, remember he was afraid of losing Padme. Remember that? Like, and everything about him that turned him to the dark side was stemmed from the fear of death, right? So when the Emperor offered him, hey, like, Darth, what's his name? Plagueis found out the secret to live forever. That's when he started. Oh, but the thing is, he should have did that in the second movie. He should have had that conversation in the second movie. It's just I don't know. That's a problem with Star Wars. They can't figure it out. Just plan something out, bro. Jesus Christ, go through quality control. QC that bitch. Hey, do you think it's a good idea? Oh, okay. This sounds stupid. All right, fix that. Like, do like multiple rewrites and really plan this. Give it 3 years of pre-production. Like, really plan out a trilogy. Shoot them all back to back. You're making that's why I don't get it with these companies. What are you doing? You're making a trilogy. You know in your mind. The Star Wars is gonna make a bill. Shoot the trilogy back. Plan it. Shoot the trilogy back to back. It saves you more money, by the way, doing it like that. And then you have one every year ready to go that's planned and cohesive. Like, what are y'all doing?
I just don't see them. That is perfect. That's what they should do. But as long as these movies are making $1 billion, they're not going to do it.
Avengers did that with Endgame and Infinity War, and I think Infinity War is a better movie, but both high quality, great movies. You know what I'm saying? And
I thought Endgame was all over the place.
Okay, we're not gonna do that on this podcast, but we do have a podcast for that. And
you really think Endgame was planned out?
Oh, you're doing it. You're about to do it right now. You're at.
We'll go ahead and say that for another time.
Hey, sometimes there are plans, and I'm sure this relates to Star Wars too, right?
Didn't like a rat or a mouse like save them in that movie? In Endgame?
Oh yeah,
That was great writing, right? I mean, I couldn't have wrote that better myself.
You could have. You totally could have. But okay, Star Wars Episode 9 did the same thing, kind of. But prequels did a lot of good things. Overall, they weren't. That lava fight scene with Anakin and Obi-Wan still a great one. The one at the end, still a great one. He killed the younglings. That was kind of dark for a really fast turn. It was a really fast turn. How do you go from like, oh, I'm a pretty good guy to like, oh shit, kill the younglings, yo. Like he killed the younglings. Damn, son.
Yeah, that's one of the hugest complaints.
Padme was like, "You're going down a path I cannot follow." I was like, "Yeah, he just murdered a bunch of kids for a guy that like."
She got with a kid.
Twice.
Wasn't she like 15 years older than him or something?
Oh yeah, that was weird. I thought they were trying to say like Anakin like it's like
I want to know how old he's supposed to be at that point.
I don't know. They don't put anything in years. It's like 10 parsecs or something. You know what I'm saying? What is that? It's just something vague enough for you never to figure it out. You know. But I like the era in the original trilogy. Let's talk about not the original, but the prequel trilogy. Let's talk about the original now. Original first one, I get it. Okay, I know a lot of people like that first one, A New Hope, and it has a lot of great momentous scenes. It sets up a lot of things very well, actually, if you pay attention to it. Like he talks about the Clone Wars, he talks about Vader and how he alludes to how he trained. There is a lot of setup. If you got to pay attention, it's very dated. Holy crap. It's hard to watch. Like, I'm sorry.
That's true. I mean, what 70s?
78, 79, right? I get it. And low budget. That was the first one.
Most aren't going to stand the test of time when it's, 40, 50 years?
Well, the Empire Strike Back's still pretty okay. Like, it's okay. It's good. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, if you just go back to that Obi-Wan and Vader fight scene, that was tough to watch again.
Ooh. I like that YouTube remake. A lot of people, I'm probably like sounding like there's probably Star Wars fans listening to us. You freaking nerds are real Star Wars fans. Look, we like a lot of things. Okay, so we're casual in Star Wars,
and that's what you're saying is most likely about to happen. I feel they're going to be like, you know what? We can't think of anything new. Let's remake the first one. Let's go ahead and get that fight scene in there.
Yo, Sebastian Stan looks like Luke Skywalker.
He really does.
So if they said, hey, we're gonna do like
and Sebastian Stan,
we're gonna do a remake,
Winter Soldier.
We're gonna do a remake, but a more updated and like flushed out story of and more action based, like Sebastian Stan but Rogue One level of tone. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like they will, but or do you think they're gonna be like, that's sacred, don't touch it? What do you think?
New Vader. Oh, people will lose their what? They would lose their mind.
But they'll go see it.
But the only way it works is if you said, okay, I get it, but guess who's making them? Christopher Nolan. People take a step back at that and go, oh, Christopher Nolan? Yeah, Christopher Nolan is doing all three. Now shut your mouth.
That would be visually amazing.
Shut your mouth. And they would be like, well, he chose to do. Yeah, he chose to do those. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to do a remake. They'd be like, I want to be mad at this so bad, but I want to see what he has to do. I'd be like, that. Like, it would have to be someone so stupid, ridiculous.
Yeah, so I was like, how do you get Christopher Nolan to touch Star Wars?
If you were to ever go for that, it'd have to be someone like Spielberg, maybe. Even Spielberg might get ratioed.
I think Nolan.
James Cameron?
No.
Nah, he's taking 10 years.
Visually, it's going to be amazing.
That man's
he's going to give you some new type of technology or something. But yeah, it's going to take forever to make.
He's actually going to create spaceships.
Isn't Avatar 2 coming out after like 11 years?
Yeah, bro. Like, I don't even care. But like, that's why I think it's like a giant waste of time. Like, dude, first of all, you have to spend billions on that movie.
He's been writing this since he was a child.
Avatar?
Yes.
He rewrote Pocahontas, and they took it since he was a child.
I think he saw Pocahontas like, you know what? I can do this a little better. If the Native Americans were blue, this would be. If they were what? How tall are they? 10 feet, 11 feet.
Apparently
awesome.
they're shooting them back to back, so that's good. But anyway, let's talk about Star Wars. The original trilogy, Empire Strikes Back, has iconic moments. My favorite one of the trilogy is not Empire Strikes Back. Actually, it's the third one, Return of the Jedi, because I personally think the best moment in all of Star Wars is when Luke and Vader, Luke and Vader are redeemed. Sorry, Vader is redeemed by Luke. Like when he sees his son just like getting electrocuted to death, and Luke refuses to turn right before that to the dark side, and he sees his son like getting electrocuted to death, and he's like, he just like snaps.
This man.
Yeah, he threw him off, and I thought like the stuff that the conversation that they had when he took his mask off, and he's like, hey, he's like, Father, I can't leave you here. I need to save you. And he's like, you already have, son. And you know, like I just thought that was the best moment in Star Wars, at least from the original. Even though everybody likes the "I am your father, you know it to be true." I just like the third one because Luke was badass, and they didn't give Han Solo and them nothing to do but hang with Ewoks. but whatever.
They got that Poe and Finn treatment.
Yeah, they got like the third one. They were hanging out with like teddy bears, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I wasn't really interested in the Ewok stuff. Again, people are gonna tag me for that, but I thought the party that they had in the end was kind of interesting, where everybody came together and like, you know, it's kind of BS that
when the Force Ghosts were.
Yeah, with the Force Ghosts. I thought the third one was my favorite one. What was your favorite of the trilogy?
I would agree because that's his training was. I wouldn't say his training was complete, but I mean, who else is gonna train him at that point?
It seemed in the second one, The Empire Strikes Back, that's considered the best one, right? But it seems so like funny to me that like now that you know Star Wars, that plot twist, like everybody was shocked by that, like you didn't see that coming, really. Like,
but that's another thing that's kind of bad. Well, it's not bad, but that's what's gonna happen through time. You are gonna go back and nitpick on the movies. It's like It was great at that time, but all this, the new two trilogies have made it so convoluted that when you can't really, you got to retcon things to make it, more valuable. But with Luke, as you were saying with Sebastian Stan, Luke is way more interesting after the first trilogy is over because that's when he starts becoming the greatest Jedi of all time.
Yeah, and
he literally goes to the dark side and comes back.
Yeah, and they didn't do that. Well, that's
you gonna give me. I don't want an Obi-Wan story. I want a Luke Skywalker story.
That's non-canon anymore.
It was that point.
Yeah, it was at that point.
And you can easily bring it back. I mean, Revan wasn't canon forever, and he's
Revan's canon now, right?
He's canon now.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can easily do it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't remember too much about them, but as far as the original trilogy goes, though, like a lot of cool stuff. Again, there's not much Jedi, not much Sith around. You just have you kind of get like one at a time. This is why I have my problems with these the original trilogy's time period and then the Disney era. It's like being a Force user was a rare thing. And I know Johnson tried to like change that. Like, hey, no, it used to be like, like anybody could be a Jedi.
Ryan Johnson.
But I like the idea of expanding the lore too. Not like, hey, if you're a Force user, you're either a Jedi or whatever. I like just like having Force users out there that like use the Force.
I mean, it only makes sense that there's people who are Force sensitive that aren't a Jedi or a Sith.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want bounty hunters with Force powers that like maybe master one power or like one really like they do it their way and like not having being too beholden to these power structures or whatever.
In 9, if I can recall correctly, there was a new power they were using. Weren't they like pulling objects out of thin air, or were they like because it was Ren and Kylo had the
it makes perfect sense because they're Force dyads. They're Force dyads, whatever the hell that means. I don't know. That was sarcasm, by the way. I hope
able to transfer lightsabers to each other and give me a drink.
No, I mean it's just like okay, you don't have to pull power. You're not. It's like I feel like you gotta. They feel like they gotta do stuff new for every movie that comes out. Like we were getting introduced to characters in 9, like new characters. Like why are you weighing down this movie with introducing new characters? We don't need new characters. You don't need new spaceships every time. Like the movie doesn't have to be like that. You have enough story there just to focus on the main people.
So much you had to resolve. There's no time for all.
What are you adding new characters for? Like what do you need? We don't need this.
Was that Lando Calrissian's daughter or something?
Oh my god! And
who was she?
That's the other part about Star Wars. For it to be such an expansive universe, they make it super small. Like everyone's like oh, everyone's related and everyone's
Everyone knows
like
each
just
other.
down the way and like everyone's down the street from each other.
This isn't just Earth. This is
Yeah, it's like
a universe.
there's trillions of people. And you know what else that really bothers me? Sorry, I know the last 5 minutes we're over here just ripping the movie again. But how do you like in the first one? They in the episode 7, the new whatever the new Star Wars movies are, The Force Awakens. He blew up 5 planets. Like that was supposed to be a big deal, and like everybody's like, He destroyed the new government of the world. Like and nobody acted like that was a big deal. It's like,
That was the one thing they had to do. Like everyone wanted Ben to make it. It was like, no, he had to die.
yeah, but and you didn't even get an explanation of who's the what kind of government is this? Who set up who funded the First Order? Or I keep calling the Federation, but anyway, we're in like the last little bit of this podcast. Let's just time out overall some of our favorite parts of Star Wars in general.
The whole thing,
like,
or just the new?
just all of it. Like favorite things in Star Wars. I'll start. Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is my favorite Star Wars character. I love Obi-Wan because I feel like as far as the definition of a Star Wars character, Star Wars character, a definition of a Jedi, he fulfilled him. Qui-Gon Jinn did too, but he was like the best Jedi of all time. If you're talking about Jedi, not some backstabbing chosen one like Anakin over there, but like, hey, I stood my ground. I've been a Jedi. I ride for a Jedi. Yeah, I had a massive failure. Okay, it was kind of ruined the universe, but he. I feel like he atoned for that with Luke. You know what I'm saying? And so I think Obi-Wan is my favorite.
You gotta say that while wearing a Batman shirt. Obi-Wan is the Boy Scout of Star Wars. Obi-Wan is Superman.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like him.
But okay, we're talking about the things we like. And I talk. Oh, it's because you're a Darth Maul fan, isn't it?
Something that I like was probably I think the biggest like gasp moment, like, oh wow, that just happened, was when Darth Maul killed Qui-Gon Jinn. That little combo right there.
Yeah.
I don't think in any other Star Wars that I've seen in theaters, people like gasped. I heard people like, what?
Yeah, but it was ruined 5 minutes later.
And that is why, once again, I dislike Obi-Wan.
I mean, I like Obi-Wan as a character. I don't think that's his fault, but other things was like a lot of the lore Star Wars created, like the Clone Wars TV shows, both of them. A lot of people get a lot of enjoyment out of those. The books. So Star Wars has a big fan base, and it brings a lot of people together. It's just cool. And as the Fandomnauts, we love people. We love fandom. So
it's almost like DC. I would say Star Wars, like the animated series, the first Clone Wars, that was a cartoon, and then the CG. I feel like those are better than the movies.
Oh yeah,
they're just more. I feel like there's less interference, so they're better put together.
Yeah, they flesh out the universe a lot more. But I mean, Star Wars as a fandomnaut, and we appreciate fandoms here. They created a real deep sense of community, right? Ever since the first one came out, and that's what's important. People like that's probably the best part of Star Wars. People like you can go anywhere in the world and meet a Star Wars fan and strike up a conversation.
How grand Star Wars is! Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I think that's its greatest accomplishment. So I get that. You got to understand that's why we care about those movies so much, because it's important. Like it's like that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, like don't ruin the thing that brought me so much joy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how fans come at
Something
it.
else that I like, I think you like as well, that a lot of people, I think they'll agree with, but they don't want to, is that Adam Driver was the best actor easily in the new series. I feel
he's
like
probably the best actor in the entire series.
I feel if you centered it around Kylo Ren, it would have been.
I'm talking about that Star Wars has ever had. Like
ever.
If you pay attention to the actors, as far as like who's act in the movies that they've shown, right? Obi-Wan. I mean, again,
I was gonna say Ewan McGregor is
I mean, he's had great moments. I mean, Obi-Wan.
Oh, you know, else is great.
It's a close second.
Palpatine is a great actor.
I thought it was a cheap, like, little ploy to get Palpatine.
But did he kill his scenes?
But when that dude, whoever he was, I forgot his name, Ewan McDermott, or what? I don't know. I think I just made that up. Like his scenes are great, and so he actually did a good job. But anything else you want to mention about the glory of the Star Wars universe? Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Oh, you can use that for the intro.
I mean, like you said, it's just the best thing is it's the lore. It's just
The lore.
how great it is. I don't. If you're gonna as great as it is, you have to give something better for it.
Mhm.
You can't give us what we've got. I can't think of a movie, any Star Wars movie that's been even close to what the fans would want or the fans deserve, especially with the budget and how much you're getting back from everybody. Everybody's going to see it. You're like you said, it's gonna instantly be $1 billion for you.
Yeah,
Possibly 2. You might get the record for what you're giving us. You're being shiesty.
So you want more,
Way more.
better. You expect better. That's good. I like that. Now, Star Wars is so big that for the Fandomnauts, this will be an ongoing series. So you can look out for any updates that come out. We will revisit Star Wars. It isn't a one and done.
And it's mostly gonna sound like we're
But if they give
just
something
destroying it,
Yeah.
but that's because we want more. We just want better. We love it that much.
Mhm.
That I mean, you
But-
gotta give. We're just hoping that we get more from it.
watch them give us something good and watch us then. Okay,
I
We're
think
gonna chill.
like Mandalorian is pretty decent.
Yeah, Mandalorian is great. I haven't seen it. Sorry, but
Mandalorian is like I think it's another thing.
I need to have integrity when I talk about this.
I think they said John Favreau, go ahead, do what you want to do. You've
trust him,
been
man.
making hits after hits. Go ahead, do it, and it's pretty good. It's a side story. Maybe that's why people are so lenient with it, but it's good.
But that'll be all for this episode of the Fandomnauts. Please join us again. We'll give our introductions later in a separate.
Galen Merrick.
He's not. No, he's not. I am Star Killer. No, I'm just kidding. Well, that was a good episode. Damn it. I just gave up your identity.
Codename Wolf _ Follow me on
Codename
Twitch.
Wolf. Oh, snap. He's too good. And I'm out.